Who is your most influential professor?
Professor Michio Kaku. So you see, when I was about 8 years old in second grade, Dad used to bring me to Shepherd Hall, no, to Marshak Hall, where in MR2 we would attend astronomy, taught by none other than Dr. Michio Kaku. And so every Tuesday and Thursday we would walk up. The two of us, me and Dad, would walk up Marshak Hall, enter MR2, where Dr. Kaku would guide us through the cosmos, from star to star, galaxy to galaxy, black hole to black hole. And in fact, I took his physics of science fiction course just last semester in fall of 2023. This time not as an 80-year-old, but as a 20-year-old. I took your course last semester as a 20-year-old, but my dad brought me to your physics of science fiction course when I was 8 years old. Here in
Want to know? Come here. So, what math and physics courses, not like in general, but just math and physics courses, did you take at GCNY so I can get an idea of your coursework?
So I took all the standard physics courses at City College, including electrodynamics, thermodynamics, statistical mechanics, quantum mechanics, as well as graduate quantum 2 and quantum computing, and a few other physics courses, including advanced physics lab 1 and 2. So those are some of the courses I've taken, and yeah, nothing out of the box.
Out of the you mean out of the ordinary, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what I want to ask is, how unique do you feel this experience was for you?
Oh, very unique. I think I've had some of the, even though City College is not an Ivy League, it is an Ivy League at the cost of nothing. So I've had professors like Timothy Boyer, Joel Koplik, some of whose PhD advisors were Nobel laureates. Professor Boyer's PhD advisor was Sheldon Glashow, who won the Nobel Prize in 1975 with Abdus Salam, and Steven Weinberg for the unification of the electroweak theory. So I've had some amazing professors here and unparalleled education for basically no cost. And I've met some amazing friends who have really tested my knowledge of physics by asking me questions every day.
That means you're mutual friends with a Nobel laureate, huh?
Yeah, well, one separated by a Nobel laureate because Professor Boyer's advisor was. The folks who are in Shepherd Hall in the City College of New York, I'm standing in front of George Washington, our founding father. So what are your impressions? Do you know any facts about George Washington?
Yeah, it's just a really great statue, and what I'd like to appreciate is that the founding fathers, before there were no country like the U.S. and its democratic arrangements, and I really appreciate that they balanced every single aspect of government, all of the checks and balances, all the power secured, so that no tyrannical government could ever come to power. And George Washington played the biggest role in that, not only as an astounding military leader, but also a person of the people, and that's what I really admired about him. He was willing to step down after only 2 terms, and that was not a standard that everyone else held themselves to. And in fact, that wasn't made an amendment until after FDR in around 1946 or 47. So the fact that he set that kind of precedent nearly 200 years early was absolutely astounding. He was very humble, and that's what I really admire.
Okay, Dad. So what are your impressions of George Washington?
America was lucky enough to get someone like George Washington as a general during the independence war against UK. And after winning against United Kingdom, George Washington went back to farming. He had no ambition.
Wow.
And then when they tried to put together all the unions, they went there again for the help from George Washington to write the Constitution in Pennsylvania.
So Bono, what can you tell me about President Lincoln?
Right, so we learn a lot about him in American history, of course, because he was one of the most important American presidents at a crucial time in American history. So, although there was a very contentious divide between states that had slaves and states that didn't have slaves, it was now like a debate over in the Constitution whether it was a right of the states to regulate if slavery was allowed. So many people thought, especially due to Enlightenment values, that this was not true, especially in the North where Lincoln hailed from. I believe he was born in Chicago. So that's exactly what he fought for every single day, not just trying to reunite the nation, but also with the secondary goal of trying to remove slavery from the U.S. and make sure that every man is actually created equal, just as the Constitution said. So, although he met his tragic end right after being elected to his second term and finishing off the Civil War, I think that he still, with his short presidency, he is one of the greatest presidents in American history.
Dad, what are your impressions of President Abraham Lincoln?
America is so much lucky. America was lucky to get a military leader like George Washington during the war against UK. America was also so much lucky to get someone like as big as Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. America won the Civil War because Abraham Lincoln. And there is no slavery right now because of his Gettysburg speech is still inspired billions of people around the world. The democracy is the people, for the people, by the people, is still is the definition of democracy. If there was no George Washington, there would be no America. If there was no Abraham Lincoln, there would not be any America.